Hello everyone, welcome to my online channel The Palm Leaf. This is video number 27 of the data analytics and visualization series. We've been looking at the string_r package. We have already covered the detect functions like str underscore detect, str underscore which, str underscore locate, and locate all. While that is completed, in this video we are going to specifically look at how we could subset strings. And what do you mean by subset of a string? Let's say you have got a big string. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and interestingly, that this string contains every letter in the English alphabet. I mean, that's just a trivia. So let's say you've got this string and you want to identify just parts of that string. Let's say you just want to identify um, the first vowel, or let's say you want to identify if the word quick is available in the string, right? So that's what you call subsetting. Now let's quickly run line number 55, and I'm going to do alt enter. So what does Z have? So if I select Z and I press control enter, I see that it returns that string. So I am assigning a string using the assignment operator into a variable called as into the variable called as Z, right? And we are going to use Z just to see and we are going to use Z, and we are going to use a function called as str underscore sub just to see how we can play around with subsetting, right? So let's run line number 56. So what has happened here? We see that the first four characters are missing, and the string that is returned is almost every part of the string, but it starts at position is equal to 5 and returns the remaining part of the string, right? So that's what this line of code does. If you put str underscore sub and in parenthesis you mention a string followed by a number, it will start from that number and it will show you all the characters till the end of that string, right? Let's say you put a negative number, as in line number 57. So what it does is it acts like your write function in an Excel sheet, right? So it will return the last five characters of the string. So here it is y space dog, right? Let's say if you want to you already know the start and end point of a string, so you just have to mention string, which is Z comma 5 comma 6. I mean, 5 and 6 are positions, you can interchangeably use it. So if you want to use 2, you can actually use 2 and it will return the value from the second position to the sixth position. I mean, if you start using 1, then it acts like a left function. It will give you the first 5 letters of the string based on line number 59, right? So that was fairly this. Now before we go to line number 61, let's just quickly look at the X data set that we had created by the end of the last video, right? So we have the sentences column followed by some of the logical columns that we had created for str underscore detect. The M3 was a count column, and the start and end were columns from str locate, right? So what we are trying to do now on line number 61 is we are going to retain all the rows, but we are only interested in the first three columns. So we just mentioned 1 colon 3 just to ensure that we only get the first three columns, and we are going to put it in square brackets. And let's just quickly assign it to a variable called as s1. Now if you look at if I'm going to run line number 63. If you look at s1, it's just as we expected. We have got the sentences column followed by m1 and m2, right, which is the first three columns of X, right? Now what do we want to do with it? I mean, we have created this s1 data set so that we can use the str sub function in that data frame so that we can play around, right? So let's quickly run line number 66, right? So what we have done here, what we have done is we are using the sentences column, and we are going to instruct R to give us anywhere between 6 and 9, right? So 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's like uh, four characters, right? So that's what you see here. A new column M3 has popped up in the S1 data set, and it has got all the strings or all the values between position 6 and position 9 of your sentences column, right? And let's say we run line number 67. What we get is we get the part of the string or the subset of the string which starts with position is equal to 6 till the position where it is the ninth position, right? So it will give you till the ninth position from the end of the string, right? So if you look at the first row here, you can see that it ends in H, which is the ninth position from the right part of the string. So this is like a right function in Excel that we covered earlier, right? Now let's say you want to play around. You don't want to hard code these functions. You don't want to hard code it as 6 and 9, and you want to use it slightly dynamically, right? So in the next from line number 70 to 75, we are going to look at how we can do that. So for that to take place, let us quickly run line numbers 70 and 71, and I'll explain what that is. All right. So what is happening in line number 71 is that we are going to convert into a data frame. We're going to use the str locate function on the sentences column and identify the phrase to, right? So in the sentences column, wherever there is a phrase to, or the letters T and O, one followed by another, we are going to locate that position and we are going to pass it on to a data frame. We saw that the str locate function gives you two columns, which is a start column and an end column. The start column gives you the start position of the word to, end column would give you the end position of the word to, which means where O is, right? And similarly, we are going to we are going to pass it on to a variable called as x1 for 2, and again we are going to pass on another function which is space a space, which is essentially saying I want to find the word a, which is somewhere in the middle of the string, and I'm going to pass it on to a variable called as x2, right? And I'm going to use the cbind function in order to combine the s1 that we had created earlier and x1 and x2. Let me just run it and let's look at s1, right? So this is what we get. We get the earlier s1 that we had till columns m4, followed by four columns. The first start and end columns are for x1, which detects the starting position of the word to, and the last two columns of start and end are for detection of the word a. So you can see row number 2, you can see that there is a word to, but it does not have a word a. In row number 3, you see that it has both got to and followed by a, right? So it starts at 11 to 12 is the word to, and 31 to 33 is the word a, right? Now if you want to actually identify something that starts with 2 and ends with a, if you want to subset it that way, you won't need all the other columns. You will just need the start column, which is, let's say in row number 3 you will need the value 11, and you will need the last column, which means you'll need the value 33. You don't need the other columns. So if you have to hard code like we saw in the previous line of code, you could have hard coded row number 3 as 11 and 33, but here we have dynamically identified 11 and 33, right? So let's quickly do that. So what are we trying to do in row number 73? We are going to remove unnecessary columns so that it is fairly simple, right? So we are going to use a negative sign, and we are going to remove columns 2 to 5 and 7 and 8, right? And just to quickly show you, rows 2 to 5, right, and 7 and 8, right? So this is column 8, this is column 7. You don't need this. The only column that you need is column 6 and column 9, right? So let's do that, and let's push it into we have just pushed it into a new variable called as s2. Let's view s2. So you can see that in row number 3 now you have 11 and 33, right? Now what we are going to do is we are going to simply say sentences, and then instead of hard coding a number, you're going to just say start and end. Let's quickly run it. So in S2, we are going to create a new column called as MX, right? And it will give you the value, it will return dynamically the subset of the string which starts from 2 and ends with a, right? So I hope this was fairly interesting, because if you want to use this in an Excel sheet, you will have to do a combination of left and mid functions, but in this you can easily do it with a few lines of code. So as usual, please leave your feedback on the video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next video.